The Sega Saturn can be a pretty expensive console to collect for. But there are plenty of options for you. The first option I want to talk about is buying a Japanese Sega Saturn. While buying this in the US can be pretty pricey and net you anywhere between over $100 to over $200. If you filter to Japanese only consoles and import from overseas, you can usually net yourself a pretty good deal. I got my Sega Saturn for $75 shipped. Once you have your imported Saturn, you can go ahead and grab yourself a pseudo Saturn Kai or really any memory card. And what you can do with this is patch your games and make your console completely region-free. But the other option I would like to talk about is getting an ODE, which is an optical disc emulator. Like the one I have. It's called the Fenrir. And what you can do with this, and you install this all-in-one chip that has an SD card loaded with all of the Sega Saturn ISO files. And from the menu, I can scroll through and pick anything that I want. And one of the great things about this too, it's an amazing way to play English dubbed and English patch games as well. For instance, one of my favorite Sega Saturn games has got to be Bulk Slash. I mean, this just like harkens back to that early 90s anime aesthetic. And a wonderful team has completely redone all the translations in this game, as well as include an English language track. The last option that I want to talk about is this cartridge here called the Saru. It basically replaces the Sega Saturn Kai and does everything that the Fenrir ODE does. You have an SD card that inserts into the cartridge, and you can load it up with all your games just like on the ODE. And right now, it's got pretty great compatibility. I have a friend who just recently purchased one, and he swears by it and has been getting down on all sorts of games that he would not have been able to afford without it. So if you're looking for one of the best console experiences from the mid-90s and one of the least appreciated consoles of the mid-90s, I highly recommend checking out one of the three options that I told you about today.